feel like it's possible to know parts of God, but it's really difficult or maybe impossible to really understand who God totally is. I think that it just kind of blows my mind when I even try to think about all the attributes of God. And I think that knowing parts of God, when I see beauty or I see truth, things like love and honesty and sacrifice, I think when I see those things, then I know God better.
He's not looking for us to appreciate his work because he needs that recognition or he needs that sense of accomplishment. I think he wants us to appreciate his work because it is good. And I think he wants us to really enjoy it and appreciate it because I think he knows that's what's good for us. Can you know God? Yeah, I think you can. You know, he tells, seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened. He really comes out and says that, and he wants to share his beautiful creation with us.
Knowing and trying to understand God is like trying to understand love, and some people say that it's just a chemical reaction in your brain, or some people say it's something larger than the whole world. Being in a relationship with people and loving people, you know, brings a lot of great things, and it brings some pain, and brings some confusion, but we continue to pursue relationships with people, and I feel the same way about God, where, you know, it's often confusing and sometimes it can be painful, but, you know, in the moments that it's real, it just keeps you wanting to pursue it more.
Maybe I've come to the realization that there is something bigger than myself, bigger, you know, than the community that I live in and the people I see, and that through this greater being, there is something that satisfies deeply and completely.
How can a being that's out of my power and beyond my intelligence relate to who I am? How can I possibly know God to the fullest when I feel like it's humanly impossible? The fact that he's invisible and untouchable. But I do feel that he has left his presence with us, and I strongly am convicted that his Holy Spirit is here on this earth walking beside me. And I know in order for him to have that relationship, he needs to reveal himself to me. And I have found with my walk with him that he has been the source of love, the source of beauty, and the source of truth.
You know, sometimes I don't want to know God. Knowing God, believing in God, it means having to struggle every time something terrible happens. Because you can't believe in God and not ask yourself where he is when disaster strikes. Whether it happened to you or you just read about it in the paper, you still end up asking, where was God at that awful moment? With every new tragedy, those of us who suffer from it, and even those of us who didn't, who can't even imagine, we're both left asking these impossible questions about God. Do I know you? Can I know you? Do I even want to know you?
I feel like asking the question, is it possible to know God, is like asking, can one of the characters in Shakespeare's plays know Shakespeare? And I think that the answer to that is yes, only because, I mean, it's really hard for an author to not put himself into what he's creating. And I especially think it's true for us because I feel like our author wrote himself into this story in the person of Jesus.
Man has made some pretty impressive things, but nothing is quite as beautiful as people. You know, people can interact with each other, people can feel with each other, they can understand each other, they can misunderstand each other. So I think God really displays His excellence in people.
Then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that you can do all things, and that no purpose of yours can be hindered. I have dealt with great things that I do not understand, things too wonderful for me, which I cannot know. I had heard of you by word of mouth, but now my eye has seen you.